What is up, my fellow gamers? In today's video, we are going over all of the buildings in Age of Empires Mobile, everything you need to know, some tips and strategies for new players. Really quick, I just want to let you guys know that I'm going to put a slight pause on the Age of Empire Mobile videos moving forward because Disney Pixel RPG is coming out tomorrow. I had no idea it was coming out tomorrow. I've been excited about that game, so I'm gonna start making videos on that game. But once we do have our official global launch, or if I just don't like the Disney Pixel game, we'll come back to Age of Empires Mobile and we'll have more videos. But definitely global launch, we will be playing this game October 17th with more videos to come. All right, so first building, the most important building is gonna be your town center. This dictates so much. This allows us to train villagers, which we can use our villagers in a variety of different ways to help increase the resource production for our resource buildings. It also lets us speed up different things as well. If we go ahead to where it says limited time assignment, we do have some like special abilities that we can activate. So like we have this task mobilization where if we have 6 available villagers, we can do this and it will enable a time limited assignment to reduce all current building queues by 2 hours. This does have a cooldown, but villages are very important. With our town center, we're going to be constantly training up villagers anytime we have the ability to. The town center is going to dictate the overall level limit for all of our other buildings. So whatever our town center level is at, the other buildings that we have cannot exceed it. Aside from that though, we're also going to notice that if we click this little eye icon that's kind of upside down, we can get a breakdown of some other things. Troop capacity, which is so important. This is gonna go ahead and increase the amount of troops. So right now we only have 3,000, and as you go ahead and level this up, it gets a lot higher. Also, depending on what level town center you're at, it's gonna give you access to new buildings and let you build more buildings of previous ones that you already have unlocked. So at level 2, we'll have access to the hospitals. At level 4, we have a warehouse. Level 5, we have guard towers, so on and so forth. And then you'll see that some of these will say NO.3 mil. This is saying that it will increase the amount of resource production buildings we can go ahead and build. So for this one, it says number NO.3 quarry. This means it'll increase the amount of quarries we can have in our town. So very important that you're constantly upgrading your town center. The other thing that is also important for new players to understand is once you reach town center level 10, you're going to get this pop-up. Like once you're upgrading from 9 to 10, it's gonna say that once you go ahead and start this upgrade and you reach 10, your protection, your new player protection will expire and other live players will be able to attack you. So as a new player, when you first start off this game, you have a protection. I forget how long it's, like maybe 3 days or something, 72 hours or something like that. Right next to your VIP, you'll see like a little green icon and it'll let you know that you have a protection around your town. Also, if you go to like the world map, you'll also see kind of like a bubble around your citadel. So you'll see like a protection bubble. So that means that other live players cannot attack you while you are under protection. If you go to where it says city buffs under our town center, this can also let us know. So right now we see a peace shield enters the state of peace and enemies cannot scout or attack us. We have one that is available, meaning that I can go ahead and I could use a peace shield. From there, the next most important building is going to be the embassy. Now, I believe you unlock the embassy at, what was it? I think it is Town Center 8 right here. Yeah, Town Center 8. You will unlock the embassy, which is a very important building. I would say it's like the second most important building. This is going to have to do with your alliance assist chances, also your reinforcement limits. So if you're going to be attacked, having the embassy at a higher level means your allies can go ahead, your alliance members can send you reinforcements to help protect you. They can send you extra troops. So the bigger this number, the more reinforcements you can have. And then for your alliance assist chance, the higher this number is, the more your alliance can help with your speed timers. So when you go ahead and you're doing an upgrade, you can ask your alliance for help, and depending on what that alliance assist chance is, that's how many times you can get help. So right now I have it at 5 because I have this maxed out at level 10 currently, and then once I get my town center to 11, I can get this to 11. But right now I can only get 5 assists from my alliance, which will help out a decent amount. But again, you want to have this as high as possible. Right after you upgrade your town center, your embassy should be immediately the next building you upgrade, because it's going to help out with all of your other upgrades for all of your other buildings. Base building war games are all about being efficient with the timers. The more efficient you are with your timers and your alliance helps, the more success you can have at this game, especially if you are free to play. The next building that's going to be extremely important is going to be your university. Your university is going to allow you to do research. And if we take a look at the research, you're going to need your university at certain levels before you have the ability to do certain research. It can give your troops attack buffs, it can give them defense buffs, it can increase your hospital capacity, troop defenses, but also it allows you to go ahead and research the ability to train the next tier for troops. So everyone starts off with T1 troops, and then very, very early on, you'll be able to go ahead and research the trainee type of troops. So trainee pikemen, trainee swordsmen. This is considered T2 troops. So the research is very important because it allows you to go ahead and research the next tier troops, and the next tier troops are always going to be way stronger than the previous tier. So you want to try and get at least T3 as fast as possible is pretty good. T4 and T5 can be pretty difficult to get very early on as a free to play, but T3 is like a good sweet spot for free to play within like the first week. We also have the economy section, which is also going to be important because once we get a little bit further, we got building speed and research speed. And by doing this research, we're going to increase our building speed. It kind of sounds weird, increase your building speed. Basically what this means is it's going to reduce the amount of time it takes for you to build or upgrade buildings. So this is a very important research to do early on, again, because it's going to scale. You want to make sure you have these additional buffs as soon as possible. That way you can take advantage. You don't want to be leaving your economy as like a last resort because you're missing out on all that extra percentage for the timers that could have been reduced if you just prioritize stuff like the research speed and the building speed. And the hospital actually gives us one of the highest power upgrades. So what I mean by that is when you go ahead and you're upgrading the hospital, it gives you a really, really significant power increase. You can see once we get to level 10, we're getting an extra 3,452 to our overall power, which is I think like the second or third highest power increase when it comes to upgrading buildings. So if you're looking to just get lots of power fast, like which buildings will give me lots of power fast, the hospitals are one of the top ones. You get lots and lots of power from them. It increases your hospital capacity, which means you can have more troops in the hospital. If you have more troops than you have for your hospital capacity, then you're going to lose them. They're basically just going to die, be destroyed, and you're not going to have any way to go ahead and heal them up. Once your hospital is completely filled, you know, you're kind of screwed in that aspect. So you really want to make sure that you're constantly paying attention to your hospital. This is another one that you really want to have maxed out as much as possible. It's also going to increase your healing speed as well, but that hospital capacity is so important, especially when you have other live players trying to like constantly attack you. So that way you can keep your troops and you don't have like complete losses. It can kind of aid you in not getting like zeroed out. Being zeroed by someone is horrible and it really, really sucks, and you really want to avoid that as much as possible. From there, another building we have is going to be the Tavern. Increasing the Tavern level is going to increase your hero's level limit. Once I get this to level 11, then it'll increase to 35. Now, it's not necessarily a huge deal early on, because once you do get your heroes to like level 20, the amount of experience points you need to continue to level them up becomes very, very high. So like leveling your heroes after level 20 really starts to like slow down. So just keep that in mind, that the Tavern is very important. but at the same time, just keep in mind that you don't need to like constantly rush this. Make sure you prioritize those other buildings first. We also have the recruitment cooldown reduction as well. This is just going to reduce the amount of time for our free recruitments, which doesn't have a huge impact, but you know, it'll let you recruit a little bit more for free over time, right? If you're playing this game for months upon months, it does kind of add up. From there, we'll move on to our barracks. We have our stable, swordsman barracks, pikeman barracks, and archery. These are the buildings that go ahead and allow us to train troops. And if we take a look, we can see that as we upgrade this, it's going to increase the training speed, and it's also going to increase the training capacity for whatever specific troops that barracks is for. So the archery range, we have all unit types training speed is going to increase, but then we have our archers training capacity. So we'll be able to train right now only 250, and then it'll go up to 300. And then if we take a look at our power is also upgrading these isn't like really high, only like 1,726 at level 10. So this is one again that doesn't like increase your power very much. But what's really important is that training speed and that training capacity. We want to be able to train as many troops as possible, as fast as possible, train a ton of troops, and then by the time you wake up, they'll all be trained up and you'll be ready to do some battle. So these are all important as well. You really want to make sure you have these buildings leveled up as much as possible. From there, the resource buildings are pretty simple. We'll go over those next. You have stuff like your quarry, your gold mine, the lumber camp are over here. All the resource buildings are pretty straightforward. They're all the same. They're just going to generate you passive resources over time. If we take a look, hourly wood production is going to increase, wood collection limit, and then the power increase for these is very low. Like you get barely any power by upgrading these. So just keep in mind that these are not a huge priority. This is something that is very passive. You don't want to completely neglect these. And also there is going to be instances where like you have to level them up in order to upgrade another building to something else, which is something you're also going to notice a lot of the time, where it'll say like, in order to upgrade my embassy, I need to have a different building at level 7 or level 8. Same thing with your town center. Like in order to upgrade your town center to the next level, it'll say your wall needs to be level 7 or level 8, or this building needs to be this. So you have to constantly keep that in mind, that you're going to be forced to upgrade certain buildings to certain level limits in order to like upgrade the more important ones. From there, we have our walls. We have our walls durability. We also have a pretty significant power increase from our walls as well. If we take a look at level 10, we're getting almost 3,000 power increase. And with the walls, this is also where you go ahead and you garrison heroes. Putting a hero in the garrison, what it means is they are going to be defending your town when an incoming attack is happening. So just because you have a bunch of heroes unlocked and you have like some of the top tier heroes, if you do not have them in the walls garrison, like right here, then that means when a battle is taking place and someone else is attacking you, it's going to go based on whatever heroes are in here. So this hero right here is going to be my first main commander, and they are going to be leading whatever troops I have available in my town to battle, defending against whoever is attacking us. So keep that in mind, that you need to come in here, you need to manually choose who you want to have defending your base. So if we want to go ahead and we want to have this guy in here, or so on and so forth. And again, make sure you go ahead and you read your heroes. The heroes will let you know if they're good for defending. It'll say that they're good for like being put in the garrison. So make sure you put the appropriate heroes. And then if we go ahead and we take a look right here for this instance, so we get to town center level 12, we'll be able to put 2 heroes in here. And then town center level 17, we can put 3 heroes in there. And this is also with marches as well. So once we get to town center 12, we can have 2 heroes in a march at the same time out in the battlefield, where we're attacking other live players or doing battle against neutral enemy units. So really, like, town center 17 is very important because it's going to allow you to put 3 heroes in your garrison and also to have 3 heroes in a march. So like that's the sweet spot. It can be very hard to get to Town Center 17, especially as a free to play. It's not going to happen on day 1 or day 2. It's going to take you several days, if not a couple weeks, depending on how much you play, depending on if you're in a very active alliance. You know, there's a lot of factors that are going to determine how fast you can get to something like that. Now, I'm not sure if it's like this in this game, but typically in most base building war games, when your wall's durability reaches 0, what happens is it will instantly teleport your town randomly on the map. I have not been attacked to that point where my walls have reached 0, so I don't know if it's the same way in this game, but typically that's how it works. So walls can be very important because if you get constantly attacked, and let's say you're in a good position on the map, you're trying to take control over certain territory or something, your walls reach 0. I believe in this game it's the same. Your town, your citadel will just instantly be teleported anywhere on the map. I mean, it could put you from being with your guild mates doing, battle against another alliance. It could put you all the way in Bumble F over here. I mean, it could put you anywhere. So just keep that in mind, that the walls can be important to an extent as well. From there, the next buildings we can go over, the dock. The dock is pretty straightforward. It just is like a little fishing mini game. So you're gonna go ahead, you're gonna do this little fishing mini game, and you're gonna throw this net to catch fish. And it's just gonna let you get some free food every day, once a day, every 24 hours, you can go ahead and do that. Simple, you cannot upgrade this. It is a building that you just kind of will unlock early on. Next we have is guard towers. Now guard towers are kind of a defensive building that's going to add extra attack when you are being attacked by somebody. Someone's coming to attack our town. Our guard towers will be put into the battle along with our troops and defending heroes. So the guard towers, even though they are a defensive building, sadly, they do not give you a ton of power, as much as like the hospital or the embassy gives you a lot more power. Also, obviously, your town center gives you a ton of power, but these don't give you a huge amount of power, and there is 2 of them, so you have to upgrade 2 different ones. Now what this does is you'll see it just adds extra attack. So right now we can get like an extra 80 attack when someone is going ahead and trying to attack our town center. The guard towers will like take a turn in the battle log, and they'll just do that amount of damage. Upgrading these can be a little bit tough because you are going to need a specific type of material. The other buildings only require resources, whether it's food, stone, metal, whatever, food. But for the guard towers, you need a very specific material. And if we go under where it says other and we click right here, sanctuary blueprints. So these are used to upgrade the guard tower. You're going to need a lot of these to go ahead and upgrade those. If you click where it says obtain more, you can see defeat tribal troops and also the wandering merchant, buy from the wandering merchant. I would advise buying from the merchant. I would stay just attack the tribal troops and get it that way. It's really simple. Like just going ahead, attacking the neutral enemy units, it's going to give you the resources. If we click where it says rewards, we can see all the different things that we can get. And at the bottom, we have the sanctuary blueprint. So we can get these. From there, we have our bulletin board over here. The bulletin board is going to give us a notice, a bunch of different things. We can't upgrade that building. We also have this as well, this ground area where it shows all our troops. We can edit our troops right here for our different lineups. We also have troop details, so we can get a breakdown of how many T1s, T2s we have, our total units. This can give you like a good breakdown of how many units we have total in our citadel. So right now we got like 64,000. If we head on over to the left side, we got a few extra buildings. The houses, this goes ahead and increases our villager capacity. Villager capacity is very important. Like I said, villagers do a ton of different things. The other building we have is the warehouse. The warehouse gives you a decent amount of power increase. You can see at level 10, we're getting 1700 right there. What the warehouse does is it protects our resources. So as we upgrade this, we can see that our resource storage protection will increase. This means that when we are getting attacked by another live player, they won't be able to steal a certain amount of resources. So if we only have, this amount of resources right now, our resource storage protection is high enough to the point where if they attack us, they're really not going to get anything, right? Like they're not going to steal a bunch of resources from us. But if we've got like millions upon millions, let's say we got like 10 million wood and our resource storage protection is only 140k, we are very, very susceptible to having a lot of resources stolen. We basically put a huge target on our back, and anyone who scouts us and sees that we have that many resources just lying around is going to just absolutely send everything they got to steal our resources. So this can be a very, very important building for free to play. If you're a big pay to win player and you've got T4, T5 troops very early on, you're really strong, you're not going to have to worry about other people attacking you and stealing your resources because you're just going to be too strong. From there, the other building we have is the market. We take a look at the market. The market won't give us that much power increase. It's very, very low, only a little bit over like 1,000 at level 10. And if we take a look, we can see our resource exchange rate will increase. Our resource exchange limit increases. What the market does is it pretty much just allows us to exchange resources with other live players that are in our alliance. So let's say someone in my alliance is like, hey, I need, 500,000 more wood for my Town Center 11 upgrade. Can anyone send me some wood? Then, you have other people in your alliance come send you wood, and based on like the resource exchange limit and stuff like that, this will dictate how much resources you can go ahead and give to someone else, so on and so forth. This isn't like that important of a building. You also have the market in general, the wandering merchant right here, where you can go ahead and you can buy a bunch of different things. This in itself can be very important. What you're going to be doing is basically trading resources for other resources at a discount. So like trading wood for gold, and you'll see it's a 10% discount. So you definitely want to come in here and do that. Trading 8k food for 10k stone at a 20% discount. This is something that, it's very important to do as well. Little things like this can help you get ahead, especially as a free to play. You can also use your empire coins, those like little silver coins in the top right corner. You can use those in here to buy like speed ups or resources or whatever it may be. You can also refresh this as well, and you'll get different offers. Like I mentioned before, see, we have the ability to purchase sanctuary blueprints. I wouldn't waste 4 of my empire coins on this. Like that, I think is a ripoff. I would just get these, like I said, from the neutral enemy units. You can also get teleports from here. So we have a random relocator that we can get for 160k resource. So you can be on the lookout for those in here as well. If we go to where our items are, we can go ahead and we can buy things with our empire coins as well. Items right here, a bunch of different things. We also have our resources and speed ups, but upgrading the market isn't going to change the store. So like upgrading the market isn't going to unlock more offers or anything like that. You're already going to have all this stuff. So just keep that in mind. Now there's 2 buildings that I do not have unlocked just yet that I will go over briefly, and that is going to be the War Hall, which you unlock at level 12, and then the Smithy, which you unlock at Town Center at level 15. So those 2 right there are also very, very important buildings. After level 10, the amount of resources needed really, really skyrockets. I mean, it really, really jumps really high, and you're going to start to need hundreds of thousands to the point where you're going to need millions upon millions of resources to get to those next levels. The War Hall is a very important building. Once you do go ahead and upgrade this, this is one that you should start prioritizing. It's going to increase your looting limit, which, hey, you want to have the highest looting limit as possible, right? Because you want to be able to steal as many resources from other live players, but also your max rallied unit capacity. Now, this isn't gonna be a huge factor for someone who's like free to play, because for the most part, free to play players don't typically set rallies. Usually the people who are setting rallies to attack other live players or setting a rally to attack a neutral enemy unit, it's usually your big pay to win, pay to play players that are in your alliances. So just keep that in mind as well. As a free to play, this isn't going to be like a huge issue for you. You're not going to be like sending rallies all the time. You're going to save that for your big hard hitting players in your alliance, but the looting limit is going to help out a lot as a free to play and just pretty much anyone in general. The Smithy is the building that lets you go ahead and start forging gear. So gear can be very important for your heroes. It can make them a lot stronger, but that is not till you get to level 15 town center, which can be quite a while depending on, you know, many factors, like I said. So I wouldn't worry too much about the Smithy just yet. I'll do a more in-depth video on that once we, you know, get to global launch and get to that point. But the Smithy will help you craft different gear for your heroes, which will be important in that mid to end game. But as a new player, you're not going to be thinking about the Smithy just yet. You're going to be more focused on like those other buildings that I mentioned at the beginning. But that is it. I hope you guys and girls enjoyed the video. Stay happy, stay safe. I'll see y'all later. Peace.